Anthropic have finally done it. They've taken the crown for the best coding model in the world. Last week we had Gemini 3, GPT 5.1, but they all lacked one massive, crucial ability, and that's coding. The benchmarks are just insane. We won't focus too much on this because I know benchmarks are a bit of a yawn fest, but these are all the ones that is smashing it on. And the SWE benchmark was one that, again, Gemini 3 was the one that it lost on even last week, and now Opus 4.5 has taken the lead again. Mostly kind of developer staff and whatever, not so much on, everyday tasks, graduate level reasoning, visual reasoning, multilingual Q&A and things like that. It's not great on that, but that's not why we love it, right? Get it on it now because it's cheaper until December 5th on most of the coding platform, most of the like plugins and things like that. It's the same price as Sonnet. So it's $5 in, $25 out. It used to be, correct me now, it used to be $15 in, $75 out. So it's already cheaper, and now it's cheaper again. It's the same price as Sonnet on most of the platforms, except Claude Code, but I'm guessing the limits are lower. Higher, sorry. This is amazing. I would suggest using Opus plan mode, which I tend to give Opus the planning, the structure, and all of that stuff with coding tasks, and then I have Sonnet actually do the coding tasks. I have Haiku set on my agents, so my agents run with Haiku just so it can churn those out quickly. I'd be tempted to sometimes use Haiku, depending on the coding task, using Haiku in the actual coding thing, but I always use Opus. I would strongly recommend just getting used to planning all of your coding tasks before actually doing them, even if they're kind of fairly short, fairly quick. So yeah, price, very, very welcome. Token efficiency is a lot better as well. And another thing is the cutoff date for the information. So it is August, I think I read. Training cutoff date, so Opus 4.5 is here, is August 2025. So it's a really, really close cutoff date. And this is good for up-to-date libraries, just coding practices and things like that. I have some MCPs running that allow me to get the latest articles and documentation and things like that, exit MCP and ref MCP, but it cannot hurt to have really up-to-date knowledge. Even the reliable knowledge cutoff date is March 2025. So this is really, really good. In the Claude desktop app, they've added now Claude Code in the desktop experience, which is amazing. Kind of replaces Claude Code for web a little bit. I can't tell you how pricing works because last month they gave you $1,000 of credit using Claude Code for the web. Is this Claude Code for the web? Technically, it's got to spin up a sandbox environment. Technically, there's a lot of crucial things. So this is like what Claude Code now looks like, and then you've got code up here, which now looks like this, and even like some of the stuff I've been doing on Claude Code for the web appears in here. So again, is this using Claude Code credits? I'm not too sure, but either way, I'm here for it. And you're doing all this inside of just one desktop app. It would be cool if this connects with my local instance of Claude Code, really, because it's just a nicer UI, isn't it, really? We all like a bit of nice UI, but presumably, again, this has got to spin up environments, actually. So anyway, look at that. So yeah, Claude Code for the web. The other thing is that they've released a really interesting new search tool. They call it a tool search tool. MCPs take up a lot of context. Tools, not just MCPs. I keep using the term MCPs, but it's not. It's tools as well. They take up so much context even before you've written a line of code, even before you've written a prompt or anything like that. And so we've seen a few articles with Anthropic discussing tools and how many tokens they take, and introducing things like skills, and all of this in the name of making tool use more efficient. But with Opus, along with Opus, they released a separate tool which searches other tools. So when you make a request to Claude, I want to try and here we go. Here's a let's go TypeScript. When you make a normal request to to Anthropic SDK. It's not available in Claude Code. I will say this: when you make a normal request, you pass in a beta flag to use because this is a beta feature. And what you normally do is you pass it tools for it to be able to use in that request. And look, here we go. We've got a get weather one. We've got a search files tool here, and they've marked these as defer loading true. And that enables this tool that you've given it the ability to search them. So I think it's just this that gets sent into the context, which obviously is tiny. And this is able to then search that, get a understanding whether we need to get the weather or search files or something like that, and then use it. And then that's when it gets brought into context. So really, really cool. Oh, you can also defer loading to false if you do want that tool call, because presumably there's a bit of a performance hit here as well. And here's an example of MCP utilization as well. So what have they got? MCPs. Oh, here we go. So they've referenced. This is a tool set. So they've marked this as an MCP tool set, and then referenced the database server as the MCP name, which is an MCP server here. They've named it database server. So you're doing that. Default config, defer loading true. So it's slightly different to, just saying defer loading true. And same again there. So search events, I'm guessing this is maybe a tool within this MCP. I'm not too sure. Regardless, this is just how you would use it. This should help massively with the MCP problem, and I want this to come inside of Claude Code. That sounded weird, didn't it? It saves you money, at the end of the day, which Claude or Anthropic are not getting. And I'm thinking, is this a way to gather money? Because obviously Claude Code is a much cheaper version than using actual API calls. It's like, if you aren't subscribed to Claude Code or Claude's Max plan, and then you use their models inside a Cursor, those tend to be quite expensive, right? You might see this stuff used inside of Kilo Code, inside of Augment, all of those extensions using these features, but still, because they are using the API pricing, they're going to be more expensive. They'll figure it out, and then I think they'll build this into Claude Code, or they'll make it into like a skill. Like the skill would be the thing that utilizes this. I don't know how exactly they're going to do it, but just to say that it's not inside of Claude Code yet. I'm waiting for it because I'm fed up of turning MCPs on and off and managing them and this and that. It's a pain in the bum, because I'll forget an MCP's running and I'll be like, I've just done all that work, and all the while I've had Taskmaster MCP running, which takes up so much, context and whatever. So that's kind of Opus 4.5 in a nutshell.
This is part of a larger conversation on my show, Cmd+AI, which we stream live every single week. We discuss the news and all things related to AI in the world of design and web. Catch us next week and join in the banter.